I feel like that'd be a pretty inconvenient thing to wake up to after being in a coma, but that's just me. But that's basically the premise for the Ichinose family's Deadly Sins, which is the manga I want to talk to y'all about for a bit today. This is a new shonen manga series by Tyson 5, who you may know from his infamous previous work, Takopi. And if you're familiar with that one, you could probably guess how this new series is gonna go. But let me stop talking too much before I say something crazy spoilerish. So let's just get right into it. The Ichinose family's Deadly Sins focuses, obviously, on the titular Ichinose family, Tsubasa, the oldest son, his little sister Shiori, the parents, Kakeru and Minako, and the grandparents, Kozo and Saichi. The family wakes up in the hospital following a car accident, with Tsubasa being the last one to awaken. Turns out all of them have some degree of amnesia, with the only common memory they share being that they were in some type of accident or something. They remember little to nothing about their old jobs or school lives, what they were like as a family, or even what their own personalities were like. After being discharged from the hospital, they cheerfully resolve to try and get their memories back and do their best to recreate what they think their old family dynamic was, even going as far as collectively making up old family outings in an attempt to spark some kind of memory. Unfortunately, the Ichinoses forgot they were in a Taisen 5 manga, so it has to end in despair. Once the family gets back to their original house, they find that each of their rooms has revealed a memory about their old lives, and they may not exactly be happy memories. Shonen mystery shenanigans ensue. If you're a big fan of Weekly Shonen Jump like I am, you know it's been a decent minute since we've got a story like this in the magazine. I'm talking about a dark psychological mystery with all the sweet despair and juicy cliffhangers to keep you turning the pages while staring in disgust. The artwork is sloppy and visceral, which serves to really make those 0 to 100 moments hit really hard. Because I mean, like, 1 minute you'll have like a wholesome family moment, and then one panel later it'll be like some mind-blowing Inception reveal. Reading this manga is like going on a drunken weekend bender and trying to piece together whose sister you slept with the following Monday. Maybe it was your own sister, who knows? It's a spooky mystery. Ooh, whoa, whoa. But let me stop before I say too much. If any of that sounds interesting to you, I recommend that you stop watching this video right now and go read the Ichinose family's Deadly Sins. This is one of those series where I feel like it's a whole different experience to read it week by week, and you know, you're theorizing and trying to predict what happens next along with the rest of the internet. Because if this ever gets an anime, you already know that it's not going to be the same when manga readers are out there spoiling, you know, things for people. So get on the bandwagon now while everyone is just as blind as you are. Alright, so now we can get into some heavy spoilers, and again, I'll try not to get into the super big stuff until later, but you know, just be aware. So let's talk about the title, right? The Ichinose family's Deadly Sins. Obviously, the implication here is that each family member represents one of the 7 deadly sins, but even this is just a theory so far. Fans have been speculating on which family member corresponds with each sin, but I mean, nothing is like really confirmed yet. And I mean, also, there's only 6 family members as of now, unless you count a potential 7th family member that shows up later. So that's already an interesting thing to be thinking about as you're reading, because a lot of these early chapters just focus on the family members rediscovering what their past lives were. For example, it's revealed that Shiori may have done some kind of compensated dating before she lost her memory, which led some fans to speculate that she represents the sin of lust or maybe greed. Again, we don't know for sure yet. But yeah, this has been the bulk of the manga so far, and it's just amazing how Taisen 5 can create these incredibly personal and relatable stories for each of the family members. And what do I always say, y'all? It's the execution that matters. It doesn't matter if your idea is original or not, it's how you execute. And of course, the execution here is great. We have Tsubasa finding out that in his past life he was bullied, and then that leads him into finding out about his former best friend, turned bully, turned back best friend again. It's wild. We also have the strained relationship between Kakeru and Minako with some suspected adultery going on, but again, the way it's executed is so on point. There's a lot of setup, misdirection, well-crafted emotional payoffs. It's a great read, man. What can I say? And again, y'all gotta hop on the bandwagon now, because this is one of those series where, you know, you read a new chapter with a big climactic moment or reveal, and you just want to hop on the Reddit discussion thread or something, or on like Twitter or whatever, to freak out with all the other readers. Get in while all you can, man, for real. Now, I want to quickly talk about one more thing, and it's probably the biggest one, or, probably one of the biggest reveals so far. So, double spoiler warning. If you were cool with the heavy spoilers before, this one is wilder than that, so, leave now if you want to. Of course, I'm talking about the reveal that the events of this manga may be occurring in a shared dream. Now, before you say anything, this isn't one of those, oh, it was all just a dream type stories. Apparently, Tsubasa is the only one still in a coma, and in the real world, his family is desperately hoping for him to wake up. In the meantime, they all are having this shared dream experience where they can enter Tsubasa's comatose dream world and are able to interact with him, as we've seen in earlier chapters. So this kind of throws everything for a loop, because now we're introducing these potentially supernatural elements. The main questions now are, what were the circumstances behind the accident? Why are they all sharing this dream world with Tsubasa? And how can they get Tsubasa to, wake up? That's really what makes this series so good, y'all. It's the way it feeds you just enough information while also raising some even bigger questions, so, you got some stuff to look forward to. That's how you do a good mystery. It's all about calculated reveals and all that. Because we don't even know all the details yet. For all we know, there's going to be another reveal that makes everything I just said irrelevant. And it's like, damn, who even knows anymore? But I will say it is looking like it could wrap up relatively soon and be a shorter series, which I hope is the case. Because for something like this, you don't want to pull a One Piece and have 1,000 chapters. It's like, come on, let's get to the point. And it looks like this could maybe be like a sub 50 chapter series even, or maybe it'll be like Chainsaw Man Part 1 length with 80 chapters, or I don't know, even that seems too long. Cause y'all know I love short, concise stories with a beginning, middle, and most importantly, an ending that doesn't take forever to get to. That's really my favorite part of this manga now that I think about it. The fact that it's so well paced while still giving us intimate moments and scenes that don't feel rushed. And it gets to the point straight away too. There are cliffhangers and it dangles stuff in front of you, but like I said, it gives you enough to satisfy you afterwards. So yeah, that's all I really want to say about the Ichinose family's deadly sins, because as you can imagine, there's a lot to spoil. I know I put like 3 layers of spoiler warnings. It's like Orochimaru's triple Rashomon, so hopefully you watched this video and got enough information you needed without getting spoiled too much. But yeah, I was gonna talk about this manga in like a compilation video with some other Shonen Jump manga, since I've been doing videos recently where I talk about, multiple seasonal anime in one video. Like I was gonna combine this with I don't know, Akane Banashi or something, but instead I figured it'd be better to give them each their own video, even if they end up being shorter than usual. It's whatever. But yeah, keep an eye out for more rambling about anime and manga. Like and subscribe and all that. And check out Patreon too, because we're getting deeper into Bleach, and I'll probably make a video about that soon, so go check out those reactions if you're interested. It's only like $5. Otherwise, that's the video. Peace. Oh yeah, one more random thing to mention. There's a lot of crying in this manga. I mean, you can probably imagine this family is going through a lot of trauma and a bunch of things are going on, so it makes sense that they're, emotional. But there's like an ugly cry almost every chapter, and everyone looks like they're constantly on the verge of tears. And that's also just Tyson 5's art style, but I know for some reason people are bothered when characters cry too much, especially shonen fans, because this is a Shonen Jump manga, which was always baffling to me, because it's like, who cares if people are crying if that's just what's happening in the story? But yeah, if that's something that bothers you, and again, I don't know why it would, but just keep that in mind if you're reading this series.